Hi, good morning once again. I am Mayur Nale from Acrevent Solutions, and we welcome all of you in our today's webinar series, which is related to an AI-based solution that we have developed for benchmarking. So a bot that we have developed for our customers, which is already in use, and we would like to showcase this solution to you people because we believe you can greatly get benefited by using this kind of solutions in your day-to-day benchmarking and VAVE solutions, VAVE work that you are doing. So I welcome once again all of you on behalf of my entire team. So talking about today's webinar topic, an AI-based benchmarking bot. This cutting-edge tool is basically a solution which transforms how you analyze products, yours or your competitors. Because in your day-to-day work, you have to actually work a lot on cost analysis, benchmarking different products, and based on that, you have to develop your own product strategies, your own costing strategies. So for this solution, a lot of companies traditionally use manual methods. However, with great shift which is taking place in the industry, there requires different kind of solution approach, how you can enhance this entire work experience and how you can fasten your entire work so that you can provide the results much faster, you can get better outputs, and you can analyze the entire product data of yours and your competitor in a much more in-depth way. So taking that into account, we have developed a solution using AI technology, which uses advanced generative AI solution or technology to decode designs, which estimate costs and benchmarking performance, which can be done within minutes, which traditionally takes in a manual method a lot of weeks. So this AI solution can help you do all this kind of work in just few minutes. So for example, think of it as your virtual benchmarking lab, which delivers precise insights. So again, as I mentioned earlier, why there's a need of such an AI solution? Because the global competition is now more fiercer than ever, with companies racing to cut costs, optimize designs, and outpace rivals. So the traditional teardown and benchmarking methods, which are manual, time-intensive, and costly, are struggling to keep up. For example, analyzing an EV battery or a consumer electronic product like an air conditioner or in medical device. So such kind of benchmarking can take several weeks, and the amount of money that goes into such kind of work probably can go into several thousands of dollars, right? So meanwhile, the customers demand faster innovation and lower prices. So definitely you have to find out a different way of doing this work. So this is where our AI solution steps in. So our AI tool automates and accelerates this entire process, which gives you a real-time data, a complete data-driven insight to make smarter decisions faster. So this is the solution that we have developed from Acrevent Solution. But before I get into today's main topic, what I would like to do is I would like to quickly give you a glimpse about what our organization Acrevent Solutions is all about, so that you can know more about the company whose webinar you are attending and what kind of technology that we have developed, what kind of work that we do. So for that, I would like to share my screen and quickly give you a glimpse of a small presentation of what we do. All right, so we represent Acrevent Solutions Private Limited, where we develop enterprise applications and several other technology solutions with help of our partners such as Microsoft, AWS, PTC, Ignition from Inductive Automation and RAS. So we as an organization started our company in the year 2018, primarily focusing on PLM, but later on we moved on to developing more industry practices related to IoT, several solutions in the cloud and data migration kind of work. So over these years, we have been able to serve more than 30 clients. Though we are small in numbers of more than 150 people spread across 4 different geographies from India, Singapore, South Africa, and US. But we are big in experience because we have been able to actually create an impact of more than $120 million based on the project that we have delivered to our customers. Now, I would like to actually show you the kind of customers that we have worked with. So we work with companies like Magna International, Whirlpool Corporation, EK Elevators, Red Bull, Schneider Electric, Rockwell Automation. And there are many companies across the globe with whom we have worked with on various projects, right from PLM to IoT to any enterprise solutions, which is using AI and ML technology. Now, what we do is that we drive digital transformation for our customers using Industry 4.0 solution. So basically starting, anything from the design and engineering services to even helping our customers build or develop or implement application lifecycle management solutions for their complete requirements management, software testing and validation. We do a lot of work in product lifecycle management, which can help any company manage their entire product throughout its entire development lifecycle, right from RFQ or requirements management till the end of the lifecycle of the product. We work a lot in the IoT domain where we help our customers do real-time monitoring of their production, do a lot of OE optimization, a lot of predictive maintenance. We also help our customers in digital twins and simulation. Along with that, we are also very skilled at augmented reality technology, which can help any kind of customer to understand how they can provide service and maintenance work to the customer or in their factory, how it can be done, how workforce training can be done, how manufacturing assembly instructions can be followed using the AR technology, especially how quality management can be done using this. Along with this, we are also skilled at service lifecycle management solution. And we are also working in enterprise applications, which is basically dealing into a lot of cloud services that we actually work with. So we are skilled at GCP, Azure, as well as AWS. And we do a lot of work in AI, ML, and data analytics and Power BI kind of work, or using various other technologies like Tableau or ClickView. At the same time, we also work in a lot of test automation work. So today's webinar is part of our enterprise application portfolio, which I talked about earlier, which is an AI-based benchmarking bot. So this comes from our family of enterprise application development. And to talk more about today's topic, I would like to invite my colleague, Mr. Atul Handu, who is the subject matter expert and our practice leader for the enterprise application business unit. So he will explain you more about the solution that we have developed and how some of our customers are already using it to increase their cost analysis and how fast they're able to actually do this work. So with that, I would like to thank once again to all of you for joining today's webinar. So Atul, over to you. Please help our customers understand and please take forward this entire webinar session. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayur, for the introduction. Today, we are going to talk about a benchmark application which actually integrates AI with your data. So here, in this session, we will introduce the AI-driven platform, which transforms the data analytics and visualization of the cost data, be it from procurement, from quality team, to the bill of materials, be from the manufacturing team or engineering team. Okay, we can help AI to understand the data context and then drive a new perspective analysis on the data using AI. Second is we have also created a visualization tool along with AI under one roof, so which will help you parallelly visualize your data along with the insights from the AI. So that is what we are going to discuss today. Talking about me, my name is Atul Handu. I have 15 years of experience in delivering enterprise application solutions. I am heading the enterprise application in Agreement. In enterprise application, we usually work on AI ML, providing AI ML solutions, end-to-end digital transformations, advanced data visualization, and cost benchmarking tool, which we are going to show, which you are going to see today. We also work on cloud migration, maintenance, deployments, and we can also develop custom applications. And our domain niche is mostly medical and manufacturing industries. But here in today's session, we are only going to talk about the cost analysis application. After the small review of what features it has and how it works, so we are going to follow up with a live demo session, okay, where we will ask questions with chatbot and we will visualize the data. So here's the agenda today. So first in my deck, the flow, I'll start with the problem statement. So problem statement means what encouraged us to make this data and how, with the help of our clients, we came up with this application which can solve most of the things on data analysis and cost generation ideas with minimum level of efforts and minimum level of application understanding. Then objective will include the features it has, how it works, and what are the modules. Then why it matters will show the business perspective. So suppose if you or somebody else can go for a tool, how will it benefit you on the cost front and what is the ROI? So that is something we are going to discuss. And once we are done with the demo, we will start up the platform for question and answers. Following about the starting about the problem statement. So we categorize the problem statement that any manufacturing or engineering company feels in day-to-day life. First is the manual reporting inefficiency, where suppose a user has to create some visualization or some data analysis. I mean, we might have experienced then for the same type of insight, use multiple times, we create a pivot table from Excel, or we create a plot from Excel or CSV or any program tool which is there. Then we have to develop a plot or develop a report, then take a screenshot and share. So that manual reporting and conclusion and then sharing it to somebody else, if there is a change, then come back, that whole process is something we feel inefficient and is time consuming. Second is limited cross team expertise. So in a big organization in MNC, I see the attendees from big MNCs, where I think you have also experienced the same issue or same problem, where marketing team has a different insight from the same data. Sales team has a different insight. Procurement has different insight. Engineering team has different insight, and vice versa. So, what at an organizational level, the best we can do is we can create one dashboard and display it to everybody, right? But maybe that dashboard is not sufficient for some other team. So then either the teams or an organization ends up with using same dashboard overall or create the relevant dashboard for different teams, which is also inefficient. Okay. So here on this platform, this can help to get users' own intent out of the data. They have this flexibility, and they don't have to rely on the standard dashboards or plots. Third is data overload and underutilization. This is something I don't have to explain. This is the common uh, setback or common inefficiency, incapability of every organization, where too much data comes in due to the digital transformation and data from engineering, data from PLM, then IoT. So a lot of data comes in, and there is no way that we can analyze that, or first of all, consolidate that. So most of the time, these data points are sitting at different areas, different points, and there is no way to integrate it. There, this application can help. Okay, so we have the data, we don't have the time to analyze. So Here we have given a platform where we can consolidate and you can utilize that data for analysis. And the last point is duplication of efforts. We might have seen multiple times that two different resources from different teams are actually creating the same plot, the same data, or maybe separate data, right? Or doing the same analysis or getting the same insight separately without knowing because they are not collaborating in a way. So this platform actually allows you to reduce that effort. So one type of plot can be created multiple times on the same platform. And on even getting on a call, getting on a meeting, and you teams can actually collaborate and get things done quickly. So these four problem statement is something that we are trying to resolve in our solution. So what we have offered in solution overview. First thing we have offered is AI-enabled data explorer. It's your data. It's sitting in your repository. All we did is we integrated AI with it. And in AI, it is just a medium to convert your natural language into a probable insight and extract the data effortlessly. Okay. Second is, like I said, the freehand plotting module. Uh, so in our solution, what we did, all the problem statement that we showed before, we concluded that there are only two things required as a part of your solution. The first thing is a bot which actually analyzes your data. And then the second thing is the visualization. So if we resolve these two and keep these two modules under one roof, I think it will solve all the four problems that we mentioned before. Okay. So coming back to this slide, freehand plotting module gives you a flexibility and where you have the liberty to create any plot and the way you want it. So on the same data, uh, teams can create the visualization whatever they want. Now the interesting part is this, that suppose there is some data which marketing team cannot see because it is irrelevant to them, like cost and all. So sending this bulk of data to them for them to understand might not be helpful, right? But on the other hand, what if we can have a platform where they can utilize the same data and ask questions or create some plots and get some insight? So we are not actually sharing the data with them. We are sharing the insights with them without any transfer, without any migration. So that is where this plotting module helps or a data explorer helps. So nobody has liberty to see the data. Nobody has liberty to identify or make changes to the data, but yes, they can get insights out of it. Deep assembly and component analysis. So our application integrates value engineering concepts, VAVE concepts, and it will help you to identify cost saving ideas. It will generate ideas based on thickness reduction, supplier change, material reduction, all of it. So no matter weight reduction, so no matter what you ask, it has the capability to apply value engineering concept and get the answers out of it. Okay. Cross-report benchmarking. So cross-report benchmarking, I mean, so suppose if I have a boiler and on the other hand, I have a pump. I have two products, right? So usually people or usually users can compare boiler with boiler or pumps with pumps. But there can be instances where we get one good idea from boiler applicable for pump or vice versa, right? We have not tried it. Why? Because maybe it's time consuming and consolidating all the data in one platform and then analyzing it and then sharing the insight. It might not be of that much value. But here, since we have this automated tool, we can give it a try and see if some ideas are capable or not. The two modules that we discussed about, one is the AI bot, and the second is the visualization. The first we are discussing is AI bot. We have named it Echo, and left side will show you some insight that how the UI looks like. Right? Now this application, this module of the application is aware of your context. We are going to see that in our demo as well, but here I'll explain. Context aware memory is, so suppose I'm asking what is the thickness of my bracket. So it will give me the thickness. So which supplier supplies it? The way I said it, so my bot automatically understands that we are talking about the bracket. So it will not answer in some vague response and saying that, okay, uh, this is something talking about compressor or maybe air filter. No, it will understand the context and it will give you the relevant response. Technical term handling, it can handle multiple terms, synonyms and all. Like suppose I want to understand price, but all backend of the data has the information for cost. It will automatically understand the context. So similarly for suppose quantity, and I'll write part count or I'll write count. So it will automatically understand the technical term for this. And it will not understand based on its training. So it will check the data and see which parameter is actually relevant to it, then what column it comes under, and then how should we project it. So that is how our bot will understand the context. Okay. Rich format response. The application in the UI on the top left, you can also see the application actually identifies a better way to answer. So it it provides you an answer in tabular format, summary format, image. It can show you the image as well as it can show you the plots based on what your ask is. Okay. So next is the module visualization engine, which we call Scene. So Scene is nothing but it actually helps you to create visualization plot. Now the next question is what is so different with Power BI and Tableau? So in Power BI and Tableau, if you have 10 columns data set, so those 10 columns are applicable for horizontal axis as well as those 10 columns are applicable for vertical axis. So what happens there? Uh, Users get overwhelmed that what to put on X and what to put on Y. But here, our application, we have moved a step ahead by intuitively deciding. So our application intuitively decides what are the appropriate columns or data inputs which are applicable for horizontal axis and what are there for vertical axis. So it will not show you all the columns in both the inputs. So it will show you the limited columns on the x-axis and limited columns list on the y-axis. You can select any of them and create a plot. So it actually reduces the data complexity for plotting. Okay. And here in freehand plot, you can see the plot. We have 14 different plots right now that we have incorporated, starting from the basic ones: bar, Pareto, clustered, stacked, histogram, following up with the medium complicated one like line, area, radar, scatter, pie, and then finally the deep means complex one, which is heat map, correlation matrix, box, and complexity. I'm sure that most of these plots are not easy to make, even on Excel, even on Power BI, and on Tableau. Here you will have that analysis. Why? Because this has been worked upon by engineers who had experience in value engineering. So they know what is the best way to incorporate those plots and how to add value to these plots. Okay. On the right side, so this UI, the plot we create, we don't have to, so these plots are actually interactive, so we don't have to create screenshot. So these have some inbuilt functionality of zooming in, zooming out, and specifically if you want to apply filter, you can do it from legend itself. You don't have to go and generate a plot again. And then we have added some advanced filters to show a detailed level of analysis. Okay. So below instant plot types, so it just shows the plots which it compares. And you can see that there are complexity chart, scatter chart, and radar chart. So we have 14 different charts we can create. Now, with a data set of only 10 to 12 columns, 10 to 12 attributes, you can actually create about 800 plots with different combinations. And that too after reducing the column names intuitively. Right? And all those will be making sense. All those will be relevant to your area. Now, if marketing from the same data, if marketing has a different takeaway, they can do it. Same for sales, same for procurement, same for engineering and manufacturing. Okay. So in the following slides, we are going to focus on chatbot. And whenever we compare a chatbot, we check its capabilities, right? So here again, we are going to check the capability, like is it able to search the components? Is it able to list the components? Is it able to create tables or compare the components or products? So similarly, we are showing key features one by one. And the first key feature here is insight generation. In insight generation, uh, so for the first thing, where it says automatic suggestion, like I said about value engineering. So on the right hand side, it will you can see that I have asked a question for provide alternate material for upper hinge, left hand. Okay. So so it automatically gives you the different materials. Suppose in the first tab, you can see the native material is Zama and the alternate material is PP homopolymer. Okay. So all these insights are based on a dummy data for the demonstration purpose only. But here, the important thing is it will not give you some vague alternate material option. So it will check all the hinges and check for their placement where it is, and then it will only compare those parts and give you the alternate material and only provide the alternate material if there is a cost saving option. If we are already at a good uh, place, it won't give that as an opportunity, right? And here, um, what I want to clarify before I demo is that competitor doesn't mean a competitor outside the organization. Even if you are comparing two products, there is still one is native and another is competitor. So this thing is not limited to uh, competition or something outside the organization. No. So at any time of comparison, so we had to build a logic for our bot to understand what is native and what is competitor. So it will definitely take native as the one with lowest cost, and it will take competition as the one with highest cost. Okay. So it doesn't have to be product data only. It can be worked upon at any with any kind of data, be it bill of materials, be it something on supplier data, be it something on product hierarchy in the market, marketing data. So it can be anything. So all our bot will help you is get the opportunities out of it. Now coming to next question, compare a comparative insight. So which actually shows you that how it compares against the competitor. Okay. So here you can see the same type of answer it has given as a tabular form. Okay. So now again, the data is small, but here we can see that it compares the cost of native cost and the cost of alternate product and how much saving it will have. Why? Because it automatically understood all the components, taken out all the similar parts, compared them, checked for the delta. If there is delta greater than zero, then only it will show you. So that is how it will compare. Now, next is reasoning support why. So, our bot also has the capability to get answers for why question. Now, suppose you have two items you want to compare, be it from the native product or a competitive product. You can simply ask why why the cost is higher, why the cost is lower, or give me five cost generation ideas. So it will automatically identify the same concept of value engineering, and it will give you based on the data that you have internally. So it will automatically give you the cost generation ideas out of it. Next feature that we have is cross-report analysis and image comparison. Now, in cross-report analysis, like I explained, you don't have to compare two boilers. You don't have to compare two air pumps. You can compare a boiler. So it will understand the context, understand the segments, understand those assemblies, and it will automatically generate ideas, right? Based on the comparison. Okay. Now here we can see the question. So what we have asked is that what are the top three segments which are highest cost for both products? So it will automatically understand those segments which are first of all common in both and then compare them. So it will not be like it will give top three for product A and then top three for product B. No, it will identify the common ones and then provide the answer. Next feature is the visual features. So in visual feature, you can see we can configure the images as well. So these images doesn't have to be exact images. So these images can be your PDF drawings, CAD drawings, links to your PLM product parts. So those can also be aligned. So now next time once a user asks, okay, there can be instances, so suppose I'm talking about a hinge, if hinge is there or a bearing is there. So now you are going for a new design and bearing, but maybe 5, 7 years back you had some legacy data where there is a bearing with some specification on something which had good feedback. So they can pull all the bearings they have, and maybe for most of the parts, you won't end up creating a new design. Okay. So here, this gives you actually the comparison, and it will not only give you the comparison for a single product, it will give you apple to apple comparison for other products as well. Okay. Okay. So now we are going ahead for the demo. But before demo, so let's have a review of the slides. So what we have done is we have listed all the items so that if an engineer, be it from any team, buyer, design engineer, yes, Gaurav, we do have recording. We can share that with you after this meeting is over. So, so we have listed what all an engineer can actually check once once an engineer he or she is going ahead for a data analysis. Okay, so engineer can mostly look for some items based on their search criteria. Maybe I want to see the bearing with some specific criteria. Maybe I want to see the sheet metal with some specific thickness. Then create quick plots. That is actually our day-to-day work that we are incorporating in our work. Idea generation. So in idea generation, we actually do cost and we have cost and quality teams everywhere where we actually identify how existing design can be modified in a way to get some outstanding insights and cost savings. Find alternatives. So everybody wants some alternative material for metal, from alternative material for PP, alternative material for ABS. So those alternatives are also applicable. Or maybe there is a project where there is supplier change opportunity and you want to reduce thickness from 0.7 to 0.6 and it has some savings. So you want to find out if this has been implemented anywhere or is it a good idea. So these are some things that an engineer checks in day-to-day life. Non-inclusive serves maybe in two products, maybe your product or some older product of your own domain or some other competitor product. You want to see what is not included in your product or what is additional included in your product or the other product. Those kind of search is something that we can look for. Product comparison in tabular form, data aggregation. So maybe one for reviews with leadership or some other review. Uh, we need what is the total cost by product domain, product stream, then what is the total cost of sub-assembly, what is the total cost of, so those kind of aggregation. Conversion to units, in case you have meetings with European clients or meetings with US and they only understand pounds as weight. You have to convert things from kg to weight, so it can do that, or maybe US dollar to euro or INR. So those conversations can also be taken care. Data segment summary. So suppose you want you have an assembly and you want to come check the base. So how an engineer goes ahead, so engineer will look for all the components or all the parts. So same way we can do that, what components are there, what are its dimensions, that kind of summary without going through the details. So that is something we can do in a demo. Why analysis, why this is less than that, why this is expensive than other components. So that kind of analysis is something that engineer does in day-to-day life. And and finally is image comparison. And I'm sure this has been a challenge uh, for most of the organizations where uh, getting image at the time of comparison is actually a cumbersome task. And I personally feel that having an image at the time of analysis or insight generation actually will help you a lot. Okay. So before moving to the demo, on the right side, we can see so the data we have created, we have involved two products. One is ACC with a suffix of a number, which is accurate number, and then COMP with a suffix of a number, which is competitor. Okay, so this is exactly not the competitor because we had to create a demo. That is why we have created these names. So we are dealing with two products. I can show you on the image at the top. You can see ACC8752A, that is a native product, accurate one. Then COM421NP, that is competitor. Also, so in order to have the data flow maintaining, so you can see that our data is designed with this hierarchy. So we have product followed by the segments. So in product, we have multiple segments. In each segment, we have multiple assemblies. And in each assembly, we have components. So this is the how the hierarchy. So product is the top level in the hierarchy, followed by segments, followed by assembly, and then components. Okay. Now we will move to the demo. This is the application. Okay. So this application is purely designed for demo, and this application can be customized for every user's own or for every organization's own requirement. Okay. Right now, this whole application is mounted on cloud. Okay, so it can be accessed anywhere, and where anybody can check and go ahead and check the insights. Okay. So first of all, we'll go through the visualize. Now in visualize, we have divided the data into three parts, data sources. So first is engineering. The engineering includes all the mechanical components. Okay. Followed by electrical and electronics, which includes all the resistors, capacitors, transistors, and all that information. And finally, the connections. Connections as in the wiring, power cords, all those. Okay. So now, this visualization can help you analyze these three. And you can see with a small click, you can actually switch the sources. And the backend, the application will automatically understand what needs to be analyzed. Okay. On the left side of panel, you can see that all the 14 plots we have. Okay. And here, if I click on bar, you see the horizontal axis will have only limited set of columns. And vertical axis will also have limited set of columns. You won't see the repeating issue. Why? Our application has automatically or intuitively understood which columns are applicable for horizontal in bar plot and which columns are applicable for vertical in bar plot. But if I change to histogram, you can see the options have changed and you won't see those columns with categories or text data in it. It is purely numeric because it all automatically understands that what is required for a histogram. Right? So here in this case, the plotting becomes easier. Now suppose I want to analyze my cost. Everybody does cost. Let's do it on weight by segment. I want to generate first without any secondary vertical axis. So it has given me the segment information, right? Now, uh, suppose I can go to some other and I'll go to some stacked version of this. And I'll do the same thing. I'll go for segment. I'll compare the weight. And here I will use product as color. Now it has given me the structural clustered stack bar component. Now if I want to filter the data, all I have to just remove this content and it will automatically filter the data. I can click again and it will give me the data back. And in case of scatters, so there have been instances, suppose if I want to check how weight is dependent on cost, okay, and for which product, what's the nature. So I can create a plot, but here you can see all the plots are, all the points are clustered here, and we have one outlier here, which is actually not making sense. So we have the option here to select the limited set of data. It will automatically filter out that data and gives you the option. Just I go to scatter. I'll see how weight is dependent on cost and for which product segment I'll generate. Now I will do only this section, and now it will give me only the expanded version of this. And in that, if I only want to check the competitive one, I can see, yes, with increase in weight, the cost is increased. So it gives you the relational items, right? Following with some correlation matrix, it will automatically identify, it will automatically take all the numeric columns because it intuitively our module knows that categorical or text data is not applicable for correlation. So it will not ask for columns. It will just give you the take all the numeric columns and it will give you the correlation matrix, right? In complexity, the complexity chart, you might be already aware that complexity chart is actually gives you the hierarchy. Suppose I have three braking systems, and in that the brushes are there are 12 brushes. So two is going to this system, two is going to this, and six are going to this. So this way it shows a plot where actually people can ask question whether I need for this domain, do I need six different variants? Can I reduce it to something else? So that kind of complexity reduction is provided. So suppose if I use source as product, and intermediate will be assembly, and sorry, a segment, and this will be assembly. So it will generate a proper hierarchy in this information, and it will show I can see a lot of data. I'm not interested in that, so I'll reduce few assemblies like packing, interior, shells, structural support. I'll generate it. Now it has given me a good view of data which is in hierarchy. So now here we can see right now the width shows the part count. So we can see that Accrevent uses for packing and shipping, it uses 12 number of parts, but here competitor only uses 10 number of parts, which actually amounts to 22. So it will show, okay, so in our area, there's a scope that we have a scope to reduce 2 parts. We can go back and ask the chatbot analyze and which 2 parts are not there in competitor, and we can start the conversation from there. This hierarchical chat can automatically enable that conversation. Now, moving on to bar plot, if you see that section has column related to mechanical. Now, if I change to electronics, it will by default come to a different set of content. Now, suppose I want to see supplier and I want to see cost, not cost, I want to see quantity to see which supplier provides what quantity, so it will automatically change the data. So my module automatically knows that what is the backend data and how to classify it as horizontal and vertical. Okay. Uh, there are a few more, but before we can go to the chatbot directly, and these are few plots that you all have already experienced. So it's just a different way of analysis and not that complicated. No expertise required. All you have to do is just click on the product horizontal axis and give you the cost, and it will automatically identify the proper area. Okay. I'm sure if you guys have used Tableau, creating this kind of a box plot is actually a challenge. You have to understand, do some Google searches and get things done. But here it's a little bit better, efficient, and intuitive. Okay. Now moving back to the main screen and going for the chat. Now this is our chat UI. Similar to the visualization, we have the source on the right side. Similarly, you can select any visualization. And on the left side, we have history where the conversations can be stored. This bin here is used to clear the chat conversation, just in case you want to start fresh or you want to remove anything on screen. Now, suppose you are new to this bot. Do you want to analyze? So here, whatever data you will select, there is a data information, which will actually gives you just top 3 values of what each column contains, so that you will have an idea what is there in the data. Now, suppose in this data, mechanical data, we have assembly, segment, product, part, quantity, cost, currency, material cost, weight, thickness, material. Okay, but as I switch to electrical and electronics, the data changes. So it will show you what all are there in the columns and what values are there in each column. Similarly for connectors. Okay. Now, if I go to engineering, I want to show that how chatbot understands the context. Okay. Now, if I select engineering and I'll write what columns are there in the data. So it will give me the list of columns which engineering has. Now, if I change the data and I ask the same questions, will by default, it will by default understand the context, the backend of the data, and it will automatically gives you the list, so context. Okay. Now, in order to proceed, I have a list of questions. Okay, just to save time and do things quite fast. But if you feel at the time of question and answer, we can ask some specific questions to it. Okay. So I have categorized few questions based on the use. So first question, suppose in mechanical component, I have asked for to show you the capability how it aggregates. Give me the cost of packing and shipping for both products. So it aggregates the data. Okay. So this is how it will answer. Okay, so uh, uh, this shows that okay, yes, that how data is identified, filtered, and aggregated. Now, suppose I have a question asking that provide total weight of segment and convert it into kg. So this shows the capability of conversion. So it automatically converts the data from pounds to kg because in our data set, we have data in pounds. Okay. Now, next is the non-inclusive search. So suppose we want to check what is not included in our product or what is included in competitor's product. That is something we can ask. Okay. Do competitors provide the installation tool? So based on the data provided, there is no installation. So this actually shows that it can compare the product with the competitor one and see what is included, what not is included. Next question I'm going to ask is provide details about manual assembly. Like I said, now suppose there is some person want to check the base assembly. So what an engineer does, it will check for all the components one by one. Similarly, you can just add it and it will give you the information for the manual assembly. Sorry. Okay. So in manual assembly, there is a component called manual and stickers, which is the segment of that, and it automatically gives you all the components and all the parts based on that. Now, suppose I want this as okay. Next question is why assembly packing is expensive than the competitors. So this shows the capability of a bot to do the competitive analysis and give the proper reasoning of the difference. So mostly the focus is on cost. So the context is provided in a way that it will by default compare the cost. But if you want specifically on thickness, weight, you can specify that and it will ignore cost and then start doing that analysis. Okay. And then again on the generative using the way value engineering concepts. So we can actually ask generate part-wise cost saving ideas based on material cost for assembly packing. Okay. So if we use that same concept, so what are all the components in packing, and then what all are similar components in the competitor, then how we can find our opportunities in it. That is how this thing goes. So now going for generate part saving, part wise cost saving ideas. It will only give you those ideas which has cost saving. If you are comparing two products, three products, four products, n number of products. If there are no ideas, it will not give you any. These are some cost saving ideas that it has suggested. Okay, we compared uh, the competitor part, and now it has considered that native product has to be compared with competitor, and it gives you the competitor part number, description, component, how much to save. The numbers are actually, they might not be relevant because it's a dummy data, but the main focus here is to display that yes, it compares the data and the comparison is apple to apple. It's not some vague idea. So it automatically understands the value engineering concept. It links the ask with the proper assembly, proper segment, proper product, and then checks for that competitor product, same segment, same assembly, and then similar component, and then gives you that idea. Now, suppose I have to check for image. So I'll say provide image of front packing. So it will give you the front packing on the as apple to apple. So it will find the identify the object in native and competitor. Now suppose if there are 10 products we want to analyze, because backend will be a big database which will have all the components, their relevant attributes. Now if you want to compare 10 products, it will show all the 10 pictures. It's up to you which one you want to select, and it will automatically, if you want, you can go ahead and open it in a new tab and analyze it in detail, or you can simply compare it here. So this shows that bot can also provide images if provided an input. So it has the feasibility to add images. Suppose try this. Let's see. Yeah. So if there is a component PCBA main UI, so it can give you that component image. This image looks vague because of the dummy data, but yes, once we align it in the backend of the data, it will automatically identify the best fit for the description we have mentioned, and it will pull up all the images of that. And so as a part of reduction mechanism, we already show one component, but this can be extended to showing two, three components of each product. Okay. Moving on to the next, which is electronics. In electronics, I don't know. So if I'm new, I can simply go and clear the chat. There is an option to make bot forget the conversation context. Now I'm new. I want to see what all components are there. Product, part, segment, assembly, supplier. Okay, so supplier is there. So let me ask, give the top list of common suppliers. So it will identify all the competitors and our product and see what all common suppliers are there. Okay. Now I want to see because these are small components, so I want to see which of my supplier uh, supplies how many quantity. So I can see this in competitor we have. Let me filter it out, and I can see this Vago is a supplier who supplies a lot to competitor. Now, if I check for mine is JST. This can be some supply chain strategy because Vago is on the sixth position. So why Vago is there at the sixth position and how we can find opportunity for some negotiation on new transitions, that is something we can see. Next is suppose I want to see list top common suppliers with highest cost who provide same parts across different products, but I want it in tabular format and showing part number as column. So it can give understand that context, and it will give you. So the thing is, because I have one-liner questions, it doesn't have to be that way. Once the users start conversating, this bot will automatically lead you to the basic intent of you and then help you identify this. I'm getting this in one line, maybe you can get this in two, three conversations, but slowly, you can get used to it and you can get the answer out of it. Okay. So I have added generate cost saving ideas for this as well because I want to see even if the context backend data changes, it is not bothered. It will automatically understand the context and give you the relevant cost generation ideas. Okay. So earlier, if you see, it was mostly on mechanical components, and now it's based on electronics. Okay. So post this, I just have a couple of slides more that we can share. Then we can open up the platform for question and answers. Talking about quantifiable benefits, for these kind of data analysis, cost generation ideas, workshops, value engineering. So because we want input from everybody, so we are expecting each member will be pulled in from each of the team. Now here we can see that that amounts to 7 to 8 people. Now, if there are three reports we are comparing per month, okay, and eight member people is required to generate a workshop, okay, and we are estimating it takes almost 2 full working days to get this insight generated. So that amounts to $3,500 of cost saving per report if we are using this application. $10,500 of monthly saving and $126K of annual savings. Okay. Finally, I think we all can go back and rethink how currently you are analyzing the products and component cost. And then you can contact us for a personalized demo on your data and how it looks like. You can ask questions or we can consult you how we can help you or how we can get understanding of your data and help you analyze the same. Okay. Anything, all you have to do is share the data, show the data, explain about us. The integration part is on us. Okay. Uh, so below is the email and thank you.
All right. So thank you to all the attendees who joined us for our today's webinar on the topic of AI-based benchmarking teardown bot. We hope you are as excited as we are about slashing costs and decoding competitor designs in minutes. So we'll be preparing the webinar recording and we'll share it with all of you within the next 24 to 48 hours. Please keep an eye on your inbox to revisit the insights or share with your team who you think could be benefited from this webinar recording session. And as my colleague Atul mentioned earlier, if you have any questions about applying AI to your projects, then please feel free to contact us. Look out for our emails so that you can always reach back to us through email or through any other medium. So once again, I would like to thank on behalf of the entire Acrevent team that you took out some time from your busy schedule and attended our AI webinar today. Thank you once again and have a good day. Bye.